The first time I walked into a proper gym, I genuinely felt a bit sick. Not like I was actually gonna throw up or anything, but my stomach was fully turning. The gym was only a 15-minute walk away from my house, but the whole way there I was constantly thinking about turning back. I imagined everyone was gonna be looking at me and clocking that I had no idea what I was doing, and just wondering why I was even there in the first place. Obviously, no one actually cared, but try telling me that at the time. I remember going up, walking to this machine and just staring at the diagram on the side, hoping that somehow I'm going to work out how to use it. But at the same time, I was trying to make it look like I already knew how to use it. My workout probably consisted of adjusting the seat 12 times to make myself look busy. And honestly, the easiest thing to do was probably leave. Just go home, tell myself I'd try, go again another day, and never mention a word of it to anyone else. The older version of me, he would have done exactly that. Not because I didn't want to change. I did. I wanted it badly. I just thought I needed to feel fully confident before I could even start. And that's basically what I got wrong for years. I genuinely thought losing weight was going to sort my life out. Not just look better physically, but actually fix me from inside out. Like, I'd lose the weight and suddenly I'd become confident and stop overthinking everything. In my head, I know exactly what to say to someone I meet. Just become a whole new person in general. It sounds a bit mad saying it now, but at the time I properly believed it. And the annoying thing is, losing weight did change my life. Quite a lot, actually. And so for ages, I thought I was right. Growing up, I was overweight. And I got taken the piss out for it quite a lot. There wasn't really one massive moment where everything changed. It was just comment after comment over years. Most of it was small stuff, or at least it seems small to the people saying it. But when it keeps happening over and over again, it no longer feels small to me. And it doesn't take long, but after a while, you don't need other people to say it to you because you start saying it to yourself. That was probably the worst bit. I started agreeing with it. So I started blaming the weight for everything. Why am I not confident? Because I'm fat. Why do I feel a bit awkward around people? Because I'm fat. Why am I not the person I want to be? Same answer every single time. There were loads of little things I just didn't do because of it. Little things that I quietly avoided, not realizing that I was slowly avoiding my own life. And I thought that if I just fixed the weight issue, everything else would naturally sort itself out too. Then on the 17th of April, 2021, during those year 9 Easter holidays, me and my mate were up playing Rocket League at about 2-3 a.m. We decided to start a 30-day ab challenge off a random Google image at 3 in the morning, not the next day or not next Monday, right then. We genuinely thought a random ass video was gonna change our lives. And that's basically my whole fitness origin story in a nutshell. Not exactly running up steps, doing punching like Rocky, is it? But that's how it started. But yeah, I started moving a bit more, eating a bit better. Nothing mad at first, just a little bit, and then a little bit more. Eventually, I lost the weight, and I actually joined the gym at 16. And even though I felt like turning around on day one, I still went in. I probably looked completely lost, and that's probably because I was completely lost. But I finished that session, then I went back. And then I went back again. Eventually, that same gym that used to make my stomach turn became normal. After long enough, it can almost get boring. I'm not going to pretend fitness didn't help me, because it did, massively. I looked better, I felt better. Clothes fit me differently, and people do notice the difference. For the first time, I can say I genuinely felt proud of myself, because I changed something that had made me feel so small for years. But the biggest thing wasn't even how I looked. It was realizing that I could stick at something difficult and not give up the second it got a bit uncomfortable. The problem was, fitness helped me so much, I started giving it credit for things that it could never do. I thought once my body changed, everything else would catch up on its own. It didn't. I was 100% more confident than before, but I was still me at the end of the day. I still overthought everything. I still went dead awkward and silent around people I didn't know. I still felt like the whole street was watching me the second I pulled the camera out in my early YouTube videos. All the gym did was make me confident in the gym, and that's pretty much it. You can know exactly what you're doing on the bench press and then meet someone 2 minutes later and have nothing to say. They're completely different skills. And even with my body, the goal never actually ended. First, I wanted to lose weight. Then I took it too far and ended up getting too skinny because I spent so long trying to get smaller. I didn't really know any different. Then I finally flipped that switch and decided to bulk, but still stay relatively lean. Whatever I look like, my brain had already found the next problem. It was never fair enough, you've done well. There was always that something else. And I still train. I still want to look good. I'm 18. I'm not going to sit here and suddenly act like I don't care about fitness. But there's a big, big difference between improving yourself because you enjoy it and improving yourself because you don't think current you can live yet. And for a while, I think that's what I was doing. I was waiting, waiting until I look better, waiting until I feel more confident, waiting until I was more interesting, until I felt ready. Whatever ready even means. Hate to break it to you, but you're never fully ready. And if you wait for this perfect, finished, ready version of you before you actually start living, you're going to be waiting forever. The main thing the gym taught me has nothing to actually do with my body. You know what? When I deep it, it taught me repetition. The first time I went in, I felt like I didn't belong there. But I went back enough times to make that feeling disappear. And that's the bit I didn't understand for so many years. Everything else in life needs reps as well. Talking to people needs repetition. Filming yourself and speaking to camera needs repetition. Whatever you do that you want to become good at needs repetition. Even being stupid and realizing that nobody cares, that needs repetition. You can sit in your room right here, right now, and just think about your perfect self and nothing will change. You can never ever think yourself into having a life. You have to go out there and get one. And look, recently Prague has made me realize that properly as well. So for anyone who doesn't know, it was a lad's holiday to Prague. On the first night, we drank way too much and didn't even make it to the club. We all wrote ourselves off before the night had actually properly started. Then on the last night, I ended up in the club on my own. All my boys, they were back at the hotel, fast asleep. Nobody was checking if I went in. I could have just turned around and gone back. I stood outside that club for a bit longer than I wanted to admit. I knew this was wrong. I should not be going to a club on my own. This felt uncomfortable. Picture it, foreign country, I don't know the way back home. I don't know what's going on really. I had every excuse not to step in that club, but I still went in. My heart was going and I was still wondering whether I should just turn around and get back home. But it was fine. Better than fine actually. Nobody really cared that you're there on your own. You just make friends with everyone at that point. I had a night out on my own in a completely different country that I've never been to, and I came out the other side completely normal. Before it, I was overthinking everything. I turned it into this huge thing in my head and it just wasn't. And that didn't happen because I became this fully confident version of myself. It happened because I was this close to bottling it, but I went in anyway. Same thing with the gym. I used to think that confidence was the thing you built first. In my head, it's like, imagine a fuel tank. Once you fully had enough confidence in your tank, you could actually start doing something. But I actually had it completely backwards. Most of the time, action builds confidence. So next time you're feeling a little bit awkward with something, you're not feeling very comfortable with it, dive into that shit head first. You probably feel hella awkward. You'll probably mess part of it or even all of it up. You realize it wasn't actually that deep. And then that's when you start building the confidence. So yeah, losing weight genuinely changed my life. It made me healthier. It gave me discipline. It gave me more respect for myself. And it proved that I could actually change something. And I'll always be grateful for that. But most importantly, it couldn't build my whole life for me. It couldn't create my friendships. It couldn't book my flights. It couldn't start conversations. And it couldn't make those decisions for me when I was standing outside that club. You've got to go outside and actually use the person you've built. Experience life. Sometimes self-improvement can just become another way of quietly hiding. A form of procrastination. Doing the work and sitting there, patiently waiting on yourself to become this future confident version of yourself who's ready to go out and experience life. But there's always going to be this other insecurity, this other goal. Another reason to procrastinate and wait. You have to let your unfinished version of you go out into this cruel world and learn the hard way sometimes. I'm 18, I clearly haven't figured shit out. I still overthink stuff. I'm still awkward sometimes. I still care a bit too much about what people think in certain situations. And I'm still trying to improve my life. But I don't need to think that I'm fully fixed and fully sorted to actually do things anymore. Losing weight didn't fix my whole life. I just proved to myself that I could actually change something. The gym, that gave me my first few reps. Everything after that has just been me using those first repetitions everywhere else in life. So whatever that thing you're avoiding because you don't feel ready, you probably won't feel ready ever. So do it anyway.